A 16-year-old boy has been shot dead by police in Western Australia after allegedly lunging at officers with a knife. Here is what we know so far. The incident occurred in the South Perth suburb of Willetton at approximately 10:10 last night. Police were first called to the incident by the 16-year-old male himself, who allegedly indicated he was about to carry out an act of violence. It is alleged the boy non-fatally stabbed a middle-aged man in the back during the rampage. He remains in a serious but stable condition in hospital. Western Australian police believe the boy was radicalised online. It is believed he acted alone, and Western Australian Police and West Australian Premier Roger Cook held a joint press conference a short time ago. Here's what they had to say.
I can confirm that last night Western Australian police officers attended an extremely confronting incident in Willetton. A 16-year-old male armed with a knife who had already wounded a member of the public rushed the attending officers. In response, a police officer discharged his firearm, fatally wounding the 16-year-old male. There are indications he had been radicalised online. But I want to reassure the community. At this stage, it appears that he acted solely and alone. Members of the WA Muslim community who were concerned by his behaviour contacted police prior to the incident, and I thank them for their help. Our police responded within minutes. They encountered a very confronting situation, but their rapid and professional response kept our community safe. I've called a meeting of the multi-faith community leaders, which I will attend later today. My heart goes out to everyone affected by this incident. And now hand you over to the Commissioner.
Thank you, Premier. At about 10:10 last night, being Saturday night, police received a 000 call from a male. That male indicated that he was going to commit acts of violence. He didn't provide his name nor a location, and a phone call was then terminated. Some minutes later, police received another 000 call from a person in the vicinity of High Road and Leach Highway in Willetton, stating that a male with a knife was running around a car park. Police immediately responded to that 000 call, and 3 officers attended that location within 3 minutes of that call. They exited their vehicle and were confronted with a male, alone, with a large kitchen knife. 2 officers drew their tasers and one of the officers drew his firearm. They challenged the male to put down the knife, which he did not comply. I have watched the body worn. He rushed one of the officers who was holding a taser, and the taser was deployed. A second taser was also deployed. Both of them didn't have the full desired effect, and the male continued to advance on the 3rd officer with the firearm, who fired a single shot and fatally wounded the male. The deceased male was a 16-year-old Caucasian man. He was taken to hospital and declared deceased at approximately 11 p.m. It's a very tragic event in Western Australia. It saddens me that I have to be here today talking about this incident. The police who responded acted professionally within their training. As the Premier said, members of the Western Australian Muslim community contacted police, also ringing 000 just prior to the incident with their concerns. And I want to thank them for having the courage to reach out. We enjoy a very good relationship with our Muslim community, and they rang up with their concerns. I'm very proud of our police response, which was very quick to keep our community safe. There was reports, and we didn't know that until after the shooting, that a male had been stabbed in the back, in the car park where police did respond. That male is currently in hospital with a stab wound to the back. He's in a serious but stable condition, and by all accounts is doing well. I'm happy to take any questions.
Did the 16-year-old know that male that was stabbed in the back?
No.
The members of the Muslim community community that rang you how long prior to the incident?
So we received the initial 000 call at about 10:10 from the male himself, believed to be from the male himself. We then received a second call some minutes later from someone at the scene. Then we continued to receive multiple calls to 000 from members of the Muslim community that had those concerns, and that went both before and after the incident.
Had he posted something online to make them concerned?
We believe he sent relevant messages to some of those members who immediately responded by calling police. And again, I do want to thank members of the Muslim community who did that, because that enabled us to identify rapidly who this individual was and respond as quick as we did.
Is this a Bondi copycat incident?
Look, we are dealing with complex issues with this 16-year-old male, both mental health issues but also online radicalisation issues. He is known to police, but we believe he very much is acting alone, and we do not have concerns at this time that there is ongoing network or other concerns that might have been seen over in Sydney.
In what way was he known to police beforehand?
He was part of a program about online radicalisation for the last couple of years.
Can you detail that further?
WA Police have, and all police around the country have, what is called the Countering Violent Extremism program for those that are exhibiting behaviours that might be religious or issues-motivated concerns. We do have young people in those programs that have exhibited those behaviour. Again, this 16-year-old Caucasian male was part of that program.
So what kind of, assessment or monitoring of him was happening through that program?
Look, it's actually a support program, so it involves psychologists, Department of Education if they're at school. They have faith leaders help them dealing with their issues. Again, it's a challenging environment, but I want to stress it's not a criminal-based approach. It's a program to help individuals who are expressing ideologies that are of a concern in our community, but they may not be committing any crimes.
Can you tell us how many people in Western Australia, individuals, are part of that program?
Look, I don't have the exact numbers for you this morning, but it's not a lot. I think from a youth perspective, it's only about 3 or 4.
Was he attending what he was required to attend?
Yes, he was.
Is it disappointing that perhaps this program failed in a way?
Well, look, I think we're still currently undertaking a significant investigation. What triggered last night's event is still not yet known. That is part of the investigation. We have a police shooting, we have a person that has been stabbed, and we have a deceased 16-year-old Caucasian male. We have to do our investigation thoroughly before I can probably give you the answers to those questions.